Hello everybody, welcome back to the channel. Running a street stock fixed series race here, C-Class. We are week 12 Langley. This will probably be the last one of the season I run, and I'm not sure how much of it I'll run next season. Just decided to get a race in on a break and saw this had enough people and decided to jump in it. Could be really interesting. We're pretty far off the pace, about a tenth and a half, almost 2/10 off the leader. Kind of been the norm for me the last 3 or 4 weeks, and yeah, um, it's a bit loose. It seems like, at least for me, on cold tires. I almost feel like you kind of gotta work the throttle more like the super late model coming off of the corners. It's got a tendency to just whip around you if you try to jam on the throttle off. So typically, for me, that's not normally the norm with this car. You can slide it a little bit, but not just rip it around the corners, whereas this setup, for whatever reason, I don't know, it could just be me driving it wrong. You got to work it a little bit for the first few laps or so. So I could imagine seeing that that's a problem for people coming off the corner off the start. We may get a bunch of cautions from that outside of the normal way that we get cautions in street stocks. So starting 7th out of 17, I believe it is. Yeah, and we are car number 6, so reasonably have to pick up another spot, but just gonna do the best that we can to try to avoid as many wrecks as we can.
Follow short in the inside column.
And hopefully be able to pick up some spots that way. Starting on the inside here, I think, is going to be big. I think trying to work around the outside is going to be really tough. So glad to be starting on the inside. Just want to try to keep it, till close to the end. Keep it in a odd number position if I can help it. Although I'm not going to just give up spots in order to accomplish that. And yeah, I'm just gonna do what we can, try to get the most out of it, and hopefully it'll be a decent finish. I'm gonna adjust the volume really quick. It seems a little bit quiet, at least on my end, so hopefully this will make it a little bit better for you guys as well. Yep, getting ready. We're on the backstretch, 60 laps, so expect a lot of them to be filled with cautions. Hopefully it's not too boring. Hopefully we can pick up a few spots and make this a little interesting. Pace cars getting ready to pull off. We're going to see when the leader is going to go.
Okay, Jake,
Leader's
be ready.
gone.
Watch for the lights. Go.
Get in the back of the 10 as he kind of checked up. Looks like the one
Outside.
is blinking up
Clear
ahead.
outside. Car outside.
Just kind of trying to keep it around the bottom, not have anybody dive bomb me on the inside. I feel like last season when I ran here that
outside.
happened. So just going to do the
Still
best
there.
that we can.
Hold your line.
Trying to pick up, a spot or two. Gonna look for at least another one. Although, looks like that was actually the 8th place car. You can see the car starting to get loose as I get on the throttle a little too much. It's just weird how this setup's working. And we get dumped. I knew I was kind of blocking, but that sucks. It's gonna put us back. That was the 9 that got into us, so that's going to drop us back 2 spots, potentially 3, thankfully. No incident points out of that, but that spot's lost, so not seeing the cautions as quick as I thought we would, so it's going to be tougher to get back if we don't get any cautions, because again, I don't think I'm really all that fast to just drive by people, but yeah. Also, may or may not pay the 9 back if we get back to him for that.
16.73. The guy ahead's lap time is a 16.86.
You can see how fast we are off of the pace.
16.92.
But I'm hoping that I can kind of save tires a little better than some of the people and end up with a little bit more on the back end of the run. If we can get long green flag runs, that may play more into our favor. Short green flag runs with a bunch of cautions are not going to help us. Although I don't know if I stand to pick up more positions from that, or if I pick up more positions off of people wrecking constantly and being able to avoid those wrecks. Trying to work to the back of the 5 here. Feel like we got a little bit of pace compared to him, so just trying to not overwork the right front through the corners and not slide it off. 5 definitely keeps getting into the wall out of 4.
16.89. Outside, clear the top.
Just gonna see if we can hang close enough that if he pushes up on the front stretch, we can try to get to his inside. Taking the little bit wider arc into the corner is definitely the preferred line, but when you got somebody attacking from behind, it's hard to defend when you're doing that. You're kind of opening the door for them to go on by. Got the 4 coming up behind us. He's looking to make a move.
16.95.
You see what happens when you get on the throttle a little too hard, you kind of get loose like that, and that's not going to make the rear tires too happy. We're just not very quick. I mean, 10's kind of coming back. We're kind of catching up, but we got the 4 pressuring us big time. He's going to be looking to our inside shortly. Like that. Using the apron to try to get on by. That's not illegal. We get dumped again, so yeah. Second contact is what gave us the incident point. Just super frustrating running here sometimes when guys want to get by. Especially when we were fighting for 9th place, so... Gonna have to probably let the 2 on by because our tires are gonna be hot. We're just gonna do the best that we can. Yeah, I enjoy getting dumped. It's frustrating. So, yeah, I don't know. I mean, shouldn't have cut down on him, but it was very clear that he was being incredibly aggressive. We're gonna give the 2 the inside lane, although we're not gonna give him a massive lane.
Hold your line.
Continue to have contact. That is not our fault. 2 continues to push up.
P11. Still there.
At some point in time, we're gonna have to push back and let guys know that we're not playing around. Fortunately, I just cannot get fast enough to some of these guys to do that. 2 is definitely faster than us. We get loose out of 4 on the front stretch, and then continues to slide into the corner. It's gonna allow the 2 to pull away. We're just falling backwards like a rock. Doesn't help when you're sliding around, getting dumped, and that's hurting the tires, but
the track temperature is increasing.
We're just not very quick.
Fahrenheit.
If we were faster, we wouldn't have this many people pressuring us, so. And I'm impressed that it has gone green for this long. Yeah,
last lap was
just going to do the best that we can.
16.94.
Can't get on the gas too hard and do that, though. That's not going to help us. The longer I can get the guys behind us to battle side by side, the more it'll help us. Move the brake bias back just a little bit to try to help the car settle in a little bit better. Two gets into the wall, it's going to allow us to close up a little bit. We get loose out of the corner, that kills our momentum off, allows the 2 to pull back away, kind of get upset in the entry to 3 there. Probably should be taking that little bit of a higher entry into 1. We tap the wall on the back stretch. Trying to brake a little bit sooner and just kind of let the car roll through the corner a little bit better. It might be slower, but just doing the best that we can. We got a car off on the inside.
Watch out.
It's going to bring out the caution. Unfortunately, that should put us 10th, I believe. So we'll be starting on the outside.
Pace car is out. Line up single file behind car number 2. We're under caution. Pits are closed.
Got a few cars that
Full course yellow. Pits are open.
we could repay favors to. 9, the 4, the 2. Fortunately, none of them will be directly in front of us on the restart, so yeah. We're just gonna do the best we can. Try to make up spots that we lost off the start. If we can just get back to our starting position, I'll be happy with that, given how the race has gone. Frustrated to get a 4X when the 2 got into us, but not much I could do. Our excuse me, that might have been the 4. I remember gotten dumped too many times. It's probably on me for blocking, and guys are not going to have patience and they're just going to move you, but it's also frustrating that nobody wants to try to even get by somebody cleanly. They just instantly go to the bottom and dive bomb. So that's fine. Like I said, if we get the shot to repay it cleanly and just let them know what we thought, we will definitely do that. I'm kind of at the point where I got to start standing my ground.
Next car is out.
Letting everybody know that they're not going to be able to just push me around. That's not how I want to be raced at all. I will race everybody exactly how they want to race me, so if they want to dive bomb, go early, that's what I'm going to do as well. You know, if they want to try to get by cleanly for a while, that's, you know, that's how I'm going to race them as well. Just give out the same respect that I'm looking for, and I always start by giving out the respect so you give me a reason not to.
At the end of this lap.
I go get lined up on the outside here. Lined up behind the 5. Hopefully we can just try to find some sort of hole, even if it means, you know, the 2. Like, it'd be great to pick up a position off the start, but we're probably going to have to just fall in behind the 2, although I'm not sure how fast the 15 is going to be or what the 16 is going to do behind us. We're off and rolling.
Green flag.
2 gets rolling. We've still got the 15 to our inside, so we're going to have to stay to the outside through the corner.
Keep it steady. Keep it steady.
Just trying to do the best we can to defend on the outside. It's pretty tough at times around this track.
Still there.
And we're just going to get freight trained and sent to the back quite a bit.
Clear low.
And see some contact. Looked like everybody was checking up. And somehow we end up with a 1X out of that. Not really sure how. We'll also have to let the 5 by. So we'll see where that sorts us out and puts us.
Behind Williams. We're under caution. Pit's closed.
And that, I don't know, that just was an accordion effect that everybody kind of checked up and we were running tight and
Pits are open.
had to stay there. Not sure what the 15's doing at this point. He's going to let the 5 know that he didn't appreciate that. I don't know if he came down on him. He was to our inside, so didn't really get to see too much of that. Looks like it's still going to put us in 10th right now. So we'll just be battling the same thing again on the outside. Got the 11 trying to go to the inside. Not really sure what the hell he was doing there. Looks like he might be sent to the back. So just move everybody up behind us up 1. So be starting behind the 1, 5 to our inside. 15's not going to be there. He was pretty quick. I didn't really get a chance to see what the 8 and 12 were doing behind us. Yeah. We'll get the 1 to go next time, so hopefully we can kind of just get rolling. Want to protect the safety rating. It's going to go down. The 5X is going to hurt.
We're going
so
green next time.
Gonna have to try to do the best we can if we want to send a message to the 249 that I have to try to do it as cleanly as possible, not get an incident point out of it, because I'd rather have less safety rating loss than pay them back. Getting ready to go. Watch for the start off the front.
Clear inside.
1 gets a bit of a slow start. Actually, that looked like that was more from the 9 who didn't get rolling. He was laying back to be able to get to the inside. Already hearing a 3 wide call. That's scary as hell. That's people dive into the apron.
You're top, 3 wide.
You can still hear the 3 wide call. I've got people just pushing every which way. That looks like that was the 8 probably pushing to the inside.
Hold your line.
Oh, that was the 12. We get into the 8 again. That gets us loose.
Inside.
We're going to save it. This is definitely going to be the last race I'm going to run here. This is just not enjoyable. The 8 gets into the 1. There's
Clear inside.
carnage
Be
everywhere.
careful, we've got a full
There's the
course
caution. Yeah, this is just absolutely crazy. And we're going to be on the outside again in 12th.
We think Wong has crashed.
I don't know who was doing what. It was ridiculous how it was being ran. We got people diving every which way. So we're continuing to go to the back because we're just not driving that aggressive, and I guess I just need to exert the will and shove my nose everywhere to get anywhere in this. It's super frustrating. Super frustrating. We'll definitely go back and look at some of these and see if they were clean moves or if they were what. We got the 15 just kind of trying to gun it, and he's going to run into the back of us eventually. Cannot get to the inside at all. We can't even get enough green flag laps to try to get to the inside. 9 kind of pulled a crap move to lay back a hair to be able to get to the inside. That's not something I would have done, and I don't appreciate people doing that, but I guess they're not technically wrong for doing it, and it's working out in his favor so far because he's further ahead of us. This is a bit more what I expected this to be like. I don't know, it's not fun to enjoy people dive bombing left and right, although, again, when it's a one-gear track, you gotta expect people to be aggressive and go after it, so. It's, sometimes you gotta fight fire with fire, unfortunately. Got the 2 to go, so we'll be restarting on 40, which will at least leave us 21 laps to try to do something, although I'm going to assume there's going to be quite a few more cautions since everybody's stacked up and we had spread out like we did off the start. We're going to have the 15 on the inside who was hyper aggressive off of the second last caution, who's now making contact with the back of us because he just cannot drive under pace laps at all. And we're going to have the 16 directly behind us on the restart. Yeah.
Okay, Jake, get ready.
More of a reason not to run this race again, and maybe not this time slot, because this is frustrating. I get aggressive driving, whatever, that's fine, but running into the back of people under caution is a bit ridiculous. I know I'm not a very good driver, but I try my best to avoid doing that to people. It's going to get behind the 12, get ready to go. 16 is probably going to be fairly aggressive and pushing. We're going to watch the 9 layback yet again.
Green, 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 let's go.
See him laying back. Get a pretty good start. So we're just going to hang to the outside rather than try to jump to the inside. I got a feeling it's going to be fairly aggressive overall.
Still there.
Wouldn't be shocked to hear another 3 right call.
Car low, clear to the bottom, car inside. Hold your line.
We've got the 11 kind of pushing up on us a little bit.
The 11, that was 17 and 6-2.
Still there.
Just trying to work the car to the outside. It's not helping the tires at all, but the more I can do, the better.
Still there.
You can see the 10 bounce off the wall. 11's going to go way inside of him.
Still
8's going to come up. That's the guy that's
line.
yelling about somebody blocking, and he's going to pull the same move. 15's to our inside. We're just getting shuffled back.
Keep it steady.
Probably going to have to fall in behind the 15.
Car high.
And he comes up on us, and we're going to get the 4X out of it because we didn't back out. Yeah. This has just been an abomination of a race. Super frustrating. I'm sure there's going to be people yelling.
We're under caution, pits are closed, pace car is out. Line up single file behind Williams.
Super frustrating. Safety rating's gone to hell with this race.
Pits are open.
Forgot street stock races were where safety ratings go to die. Frustrating because I'm really trying to clean it up and run better, and then you have just stuff like that. I don't know, maybe I came down on the 15, but I felt like he was just continuing to come up the track when I was there, and then finally came across the nose, and I tap the brakes, let him go, but he's going to be in the wall, and I'm going to have a hard time avoiding it, so yeah, it's frustrating. One's going to get a lap back. I think that'll put 16 on the lead lap. No, one is 4 laps down, so he'll be 3 laps down. The 15 is 1 lap down. He disconnected, so we've got 15 on the lead lap. And we've got a long way to go to get back to... I'd at least like to get to 8th. honestly. Just 8th would be great, but we got a long way to go to get to that, and a long way to go to get to 6th for our car number, with not a ton of time left. 8 blinks there. 15 at least is no longer in the race or behind us, so I don't have to worry about that. Not sure what the 14's been like. 9 is on the outside, so he'll probably be laying back. So outside may not get a good start. To watch out for that as well. 2 to green this time by. It's going to put us restarting on 49. It'll leave us 12 to go. It'll be a fun battle to the end.
Pace car is out. Pits are closed.
Will definitely be a fun battle to the end. We haven't gotten a restart behind the 8, so not sure what he's going to do, but he definitely seems to be
Pace car's coming in.
a bit all over the place, drifting up and whatnot in the corner, probably just driving in too hard on entries and sliding up. But it's funny when somebody yells about somebody coming down across them and blocking, but then they cannot avoid washing up. It's just frustrating. On the backstretch, getting ready to go. Just gonna try to get the best start we can, see if we can pick up some spots on the inside here, take advantage of being on the inside. 3's off and rolling, 8 kind of lays back. That allows the 11 able to get down in front. Frustrating because I wanted to try to take advantage of that. 8's just not going.
Clear all around. Car inside.
8's going low.
He's still there. Still there.
Have to drop back, see if we can cut back to the 14. 11 gets really loose. 8's going to check up for him.
Clear to the bottom.
Try to get to the inside. Watch out for the 13 diving low. 11 was going to try to pinch us down, but we're finally going to
Hold your line.
Fed. 8 gets loose off of 4. You can see the 9 up ahead.
Clear inside.
Enjoying that the 13's really using all of the track that he can. We're able to break free there. Still expect the 13 to continue to push low. Got a terrible exit out of the corner. Was adjusting one thing and got off there. You can see the 4 getting really loose on the outside. Gonna try to get to the inside of the 8.
Hold your line. Still there.
See the 12 having issues.
17.02.
Clear outside.
8's going to probably try to cross over to get back to the inside, but we're going to try to defend it. He's going to go way inside, wash this up a little bit. Try to pull away from him. We at least got to 8th, but I would like to pick up a couple more spots if we can. And we've got a couple cars that we owe a little bit of favors to. I'm going to come across the start 55 this time by. Trying to pull away from the 8 and trying to avoid sliding the car too much through corners and especially off. Definitely heated up the right front from those spins.
Outside. Clear outside.
There was a little bit of contact to send him around, and we end up out of that. Yeah, this race is so frustrating. So frustrating.
Pace car's out. Line up single file behind Andrews.
We're gonna end under caution.
Pits closed.
Oh, that's so frustrating. We're gonna finish 14th out of this because of...
Full course yellow. Pits are open.
Probably watching. It'll probably be on me. It'll probably be me completely drifting up, but... it got inside of the 9 and he just... yeah. Kind of deserve that one, and unfortunately we're the one that when he gets loose and comes back down on us, we end up out of it. So not the way to dump somebody. Yeah, just really frustrating. This is not a great video for you guys. Sorry about that. Didn't really want to finish all the way at the back at all. But that's what's gonna happen, unfortunately. So, hopefully you guys at least got to see something. Pretty crap race overall. We'll go back and watch all the wrecks and see everybody dumping us that owes. I don't know, it's just... Street stocks are fine for contact, I get it, but everybody just wants to take the aggressive line and take the space away, but then the minute you do it back to them, they're going to whine and cry about it, so... Yep, we're just going to finish back here in 14th, unfortunately. Gotta ride around for a lap and a half to finish this out, make it official. Lost a ton of safety rating, gonna lose a ton of I rating. Probably should not have done this at all, but again, thought maybe I could try to avoid wrecks and get somewhere, and instead we just had everybody driving hyper aggressive. I'm sure going back and listening to all the radio afterwards are gonna be real interesting. I don't know what the 8's doing. He just decides to stop. Must have realized that, you know, white flag thinks we're done. Yeah. Gives me a lot more confidence in him being a good driver. A lot more confidence. Yep. Yep. Way to go to realize that the white flag means you're done. Now you can be done. Super frustrating. And we're gonna park it so we can get out and watch everything.
We'll get him next time.
You see, we got quite a bit in the way there. Let's just watch from the start. We'll watch from behind and see. Fast forward a little bit to when we get by the 9. We're gonna watch how he races us. I was pretty confident that he was just dive bombing, but I could be wrong. He's gonna start catching up to us. We're gonna get loose. I'm still on that cold tires trying to work it. You can see the 9 getting loose as well. There's contact. Yep, that was just a dump. That's just literally all that was. He just literally chooses to dump us. Nothing I can do. He just drove straight in the back. I mean, maybe that's a tiny bit of netcode, but it was very obvious that he was just sent for the left rear. So, sends us around. That's going to drop us back. 5 is going to get on by. 15 is going to be on top of us. 2 is going to start working the outside. This is where the second set's going to come in. Fast forward to when the 2 gets up to us. We were trying to catch back up to the 5. 2 is going to end up eventually working his way around the 15. Or excuse me, the 4 was the first one. Let's see when he gets close. We'll fast forward up to when he gets close. So, you can see he starts diving to the inside, which everybody's doing. I don't know, I'm holding my line and he just comes up into us, honestly. Like, he chose to dive to the bottom to the inside, you can't wash up like that. And that's what got us the first 4X right there. Still didn't bring out a caution, brings the 2 up to us now. And we're going to watch the 2 and see what he does. We get really loose off of 2 there. It's going to allow the 2 to start looking to the inside. Continuing to look to the inside, my fault for leaving the door open. Tried to start shutting it now, at least get myself to the yellow line, come off. Drifted really wide off the corner. It's going to allow the 2 a better run. He gets to our door. And he just kind of door slams us a little bit. And then continues to door slam us. I mean, those are not hard hits, but when we're coming off, I don't have to give you the entire track. Like, the onus is on you to make sure that you hold your line, and I understand the line comes out, but I'm not just required to give it completely up. And then you can see he's continuing to go straight, kind of turning in, but waiting and fighting for that little bit higher and just running alongside of us. So, yeah, super frustrating. Let's go take a look at some of the stuff in the middle where everything starts happening. You see we're getting ready to start here. So fast forward, this is when I was behind the 12, gonna have the 15 to the inside, 16 directly behind us. When I get off the start, we get a decent start. Try to hold the 11, see if we can get down in front of them. Get loose, still holding the outside, trying not to get into them at this point. 8's kind of working to the inside. I believe it was one caution before this as well, we'll check. That was when the one with the 1 happened. 10's still getting the wall, you can see that. So this one was probably on me for coming down in the 8 in all honesty. He's into the corner, holding the line fairly well, and I'm trying to get there, although I expected him to brake a little bit more and not drift so far up. So that was probably on me, but let's see what happens here with the 1 and the 8. This is, you know, the 3 wide moment where he's just diving in. Yep, so you can see another contact. This is where the 1 just, or the 8 just decides to slide it in, taking the flat. A little bit of nutcode there, but in all honesty, we were still making contact. That shoves us out of the way. And then the 1, I don't know, from that vantage, the 1 definitely cut down in, but again, the 8's continuing to dive inside, and I think the 1 just thought he was going to go to the apron, and he didn't. So that stacked that up. So let's look at the final few laps and see how this goes. So we're off the restart, we're rolling. You can see the 9 starting to get freight trained on the outside. That's going to hurt him big time. Trying to work our way up here. We're in 11th at this point. Trying to work to the outside of the 8, just trying to find any way I can get around him at this point. You can see the 11's getting loose, so we're both going to try to start working to his inside. Got the 14 and 13 aggressively going, 13 taking it almost all the way down to the grass. Guys just love using the apron here. 8 gets loose again. We're going to follow in behind, try to defend the 13 as best as I can, hoping that he and the 11 start battling more, and it allows us to pull away. Which it did slightly. You can see we got further away that time through 3 and 4. Get into the wall like an idiot. I continue to work the car. 4 has issues up front. That slows the 9 down, allows the 8 to get to the outside, and we're going to try to work to the inside of the 8 now to get by him. This is allowing us to take 8th at this point. Should be able to clear him at this point. 11's going to try to dive into the inside of the 8 as well, unable to make it happen. So you can see we clear him. We've got the 9 and the 4 both ahead of us. Both of them we owe favors back to. Nine really has issues getting off the corner, but we also did not get the best run off either, kind of slid it a little bit. Just trying to hold the yellow line as best I can, allowing the car to rotate a little bit, but also defending that inside line to the 8. He gets into the wall behind. You can see we almost got to the back bumper there of the 9. I believe this is the corner where the contact's going to happen. I don't know. First shot, he just gets loose there coming onto the gas, and I probably should have waited. I couldn't really get to the inside because I'm almost on the throttle. If you look, you can actually watch, I lift right there. I probably should have hit the brake and got into him, and unfortunately that turned him sideways. Then he gets into our right front and sends us completely inside, and he gets to roll away. So we catch the shit end out of that, even though that really wasn't me trying to repay the favor. I guess that's what happened. So let's take a look at the results and see how bad the damage was. Super frustrating race. Just super frustrating. Wow, that actually split twice. So 21:08, pretty weak overall. Yeah, we ended up only being about half a tenth off. That closed up quite a bit. So glad we were able to find some speed there. Was unable to do that in qualifying. You can see we lose 70 in high rating, lose 0.15 in safety, and we're still way at the back. Yeah, really frustrated. Just could not catch any breaks. We end up with the worst end out of a lot of the deals. So hopefully you guys stuck around to at least see some of that. Sorry that it was not a very good finish at all. So remember to like and subscribe. Stay tuned for more videos. And as always, hope your laps are fast, finishes are clean, and races are good. Thanks for watching.